Morning. Thanks for joining us. Off on another walk again. We're just away for the weekend, staying at a little campsite in the hamlet of Heathcote in Derbyshire, and just setting off on a walk out to Arbor Low, which I've never visited before. It's a late Neolithic stone circle, and there's also a later Bronze Age burial mound there, I believe. I think the whole walk's around about 8 miles, and yeah, it should be nice. Weather can't seem to decide what it's supposed to be doing. It's overcast 1 minute and then the sun's peeping through the next. But why not stick along with us and see what we find along the way. There's no great big hills or anything on this route today. It's just a pleasant walk along country lanes, disused railways. I think we're coming up to the Testington trail shortly, and yeah, just lovely meadowland. Just been looking, there's loads of wildflowers breaking through. All the dandelions are there early, but you can see orchids and stuff coming through as well. That was interesting. Hartington old station there. A couple of buildings left, but mainly the really well preserved signal box. All the levers still intact inside it, look great. And yeah, it said the station was in use up until 1954, and then beyond that just special excursion trains bringing sightseers up here and that sort of thing. But yeah, so the Testington Trail joins up with the Pennine Bridleway just here, and then just after a short section we just exit onto a small road, cross the main road, and then head off to the right up to Arbor Low. Right, we've just dropped down off the railway now and cutting back up to cross the busy Buxton to Ashbourne Road. Can't remember what road number it is, but I'll put it on the screen, and then immediately right and up a little country lane to take us to Arbor Low. Just heading up through the farm to Arbor Low now. I think there's a £1 charge. I'm not sure whether there's an honesty box or something, but we'll soon find out. And as the weather forecast predicted, rain's just setting in. it's supposed to get too heavy though, fingers crossed. Wow, look at that. 4,500 or so years old. And I reckon there's 40 stones. Some say they were always flat, others say that they were upright in shallow holes, but they're all lying flat now. And then later on in the Bronze Age there's a burial mound that was built at one end of it. What a spectacular thing. It's a hinged stone circle, which means it's got the outer embankment and a ditch around it. Just want to have a closer look. Onto the burial mound now, which was, as I say, added on later in the Bronze Age. So ringing round the outside of it, there's some newer stones, and I think they were from when it was designated as an ancient monument. So some of them are from the Victorian. So it's VR, and then there's Georgian ones, GR, all around the outside. But I think it's one of the oldest scheduled monuments in the country. So it's all local limestone, so it wouldn't have been transported far, but some of these stones are huge, you know. Maria stood next to it for scale. Maria's approximately 2.5 foot tall.
Hey. At least 5 foot.
But yeah, they must have taken some shifting back in the day with primitive tools. Right, I'm not 100% sure I'm right in this. I think there's a burial mound that's built into the wall of the circle that we've just been to, and then if you look to your right, there's another tumulus called, I think is it Jib Hill, and you can wander across to that as well. Yeah, there's an information board there, so this is Jib Hill burial mound. Another Bronze Age one apparently. They found various artefacts and human remains here when it was excavated in 1848, I think it said. Just reread the information board for the Jib Hill Barrow that we just visited, and it's an early Neolithic barrow, and when they were excavating that, the tunnel collapsed and it uncovered that over the top of it had been built a later Bronze Age barrow. So yeah, it's a dual one. I enjoyed that, that was really impressive. Got visitors. Anyway, just heading back now down through the farm and then retrace our steps back to Parsley Hey, and then get back onto the Pennine Bridleway and head a slightly different route back. Right, we're just back on the railway line again now, and as we get back towards the prominent cutting there, we're just going to take a left and pick up the Pennine Bridleway just to make a slightly different route back. Mini tunnel carrying the line underneath the A515. Had the engineer's name up on the parapet, but I couldn't really read it. There's another plaque at the other end. It says Cromford and High Peak Railway 1825. I was actually wondering if this was another section of the Cromford and High Peak because of how narrow it is. Obviously, a different railway than the Testington Trail, which I think was Buxton to Testington or whatever. Yeah, this is part of a route that I've walked a couple of sections of it in the last few weeks. Not walked this piece before. Actually, the remains of an old railway signal behind me. The post's all intact, but you can see all the ironwork and everything. Yeah, fascinating. Right, we've just left the path of the railway now, and there is a little way marker actually that says A515, so we're heading just back up to the main road, and along what's marked on the map as Long Lane, and that's starting to direct us back towards Heathcote, where we started. We got waylaid by a hostelry. Well, it is raining. Right, we just nipped off route about 100 yards to the Jug and Glass, and had a nice couple of beers and a really nice meal as well.
Yeah.
So we're all replenished now. Thought the rain might go away if we went in there for an hour as well, but no, it didn't. Anyway, we're just back on the last sort of mile or so of the route, back down to the campsite, and we're on Long Lane again, and we're just going to sort of like cut across country. I think there's a little bit of a nature reserve up here, Upper Hartington Nature Reserve, so we're going to skirt round that and bring you back in a minute. Well, back down on the Testington trail now. We've just come out of that local nature reserve. It's called Hartington Meadows Nature Reserve. Not what I said earlier. And we're just taking a left along the Testington trail again. More or less stopped raining now. So hopefully we can get back to the van and get dried out a little. Well, as soon as I said it had stopped raining, it started almost immediately. But we're on the last stretch now, just down the little country lane back to Heathcote and the campsite. And with a bit of exploring around Arbor Low and a detour to the pub, it's come out at around about 10 miles rather than the 8 that I estimated originally. But it doesn't feel that long a walk because it's most of it's on the flat, so it's it's been a nice one, but nothing too strenuous. But anyway, if you've watched this far, many thanks, really appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up as usual, and maybe hitting the subscribe button if you've not done that already. And no doubt we will see you on another video very soon. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye.